Presented by Meade Clark Lumber Company, locally owned and part of the community for over 100 years. With the right information and the right materials, Meade Clark is the right lumber yard. So shop where the contractors shop, at Meade Clark Lumber.
First off, this is a tremendous day, not only for Andrew Vaughn and his family, but for Maria Carrillo High School and the Maria Carrillo High School baseball program. It's very rare that one, like Andrew, gets an opportunity to get an invitation from a prestigious university like California, Berkeley, to not only attend the school, but to play athletics or play baseball in his case. And it speaks a lot to what Andrew has gone through and the sacrifices that he's made, the effort, energy that he's put forth, not only on the baseball field, but in the classroom. It also speaks to the energy and effort and sacrifices that his family, his friends, his teammates, and his coaches, and I say family first because they've been there the longest with him. It's very rare to get the invitation, but it's even more rare for a school like Cal Berkeley to say, Andrew, we want you to play baseball for us while going to school here. And he may not have told many people, but he's received a full scholarship to the University of California, Berkeley, which is even more rare. For a university to do such a thing, which is very rare no matter what sport you're playing, they look at, one, they became attracted to him, what he's done on the baseball field. Two, they look into what he's done in the classroom. Right? So they like him as a baseball player. Now they want to find out what kind of student is he. What has he achieved in the classroom? Because that's it is more important to the university and to Andrew and to the baseball program that he excels in the classroom. And then beyond that, part of the recruiting process is the coaches talking to me, talking to other people, other coaches, about who he is as a person, what his character is. And I think that's probably what sold University of California, Berkeley on Andrew being a member of their school and their program more than anything. So I think today is a testament to not only Andrew's ability to play the game of baseball, but obviously his achievements in the classroom, which he has been excelling in just as long as he has been excelling on the baseball field. And then last but certainly not least, who he is as a person. Because Cal Berkeley is making an investment in you as a person for 4 years. So today is a culmination of his efforts, his family's efforts, the efforts of all the coaches he's ever played for since he was 5, 6 years old. We have Dave Cox here today. It happened to be his first travel ball coach. So it's a small circle of people that come in touch with Andrew throughout his baseball career. And then lastly, I say culmination with, this isn't his last step in the journey that he is on. Cal Berkeley, and today the signing of his national letter of intent is just a part of the process that he has gone through and will be going through once he steps on campus next year. Because he's still got another year here, and he's still got another season here. Then he goes to Berkeley, and he's got 4 seasons there, 4 years of school there. And I know that Andrew has aspirations and goals beyond Cal Berkeley, both in life, in a career, and potentially baseball, wherever that takes him. But I know that based on his success and his achievements since I've known him, which go all the way back to 10, 11 years old, I have no doubt that Andrew's going to succeed at the next level, University of Cal Berkeley, and then well beyond that. So again, it's truly an honor and a privilege to stand next to you and be here today on this day, which is, I know, is an important day for you. The last thing I want to add is Andrew, just a little personal side note, Andrew's a goal-driven person. You know, when he first came into Maria Carrillo High School, and I knew obviously he was a baseball player. I had coached him before he arrived here. He stated that his goal was for baseball to make the varsity baseball team. He achieved that goal. And then he stated his goal, he wanted to start on varsity as a freshman. And he earned and achieved that goal. And then he stated that he wanted to play at the level, at a high level, at the level of an all-league, all-empire player would. And as a freshman, he achieved that, both all-league and all-empire. And then going into his sophomore year, I learned from him that he had been communicating with Cal and the Cal coaches, and that it was his goal, since he was a young buck, to attend Cal Berkeley, to go to school and to play baseball. And I didn't realize that until we had gone through this process together, and it's just another goal. So today is another goal that he has achieved. And again, I'm honored and privileged to be here with you, and I thank everyone for being here for Andrew. All your teammates are here, your coaches are here, your family, your friends, supporters, teachers. And today is truly a special day for you and your family and myself and the Maria Carrillo High School baseball program and all your friends. So, congratulations.
This is a letter I wrote to UC Berkeley. It's probably, out of the 30 plus letters of recommendation, probably about 40 at this point that I've written. It's probably the one I've spent the most time on and the one I'm most happy to share, and just couldn't stop writing stuff about him. So without further ado, this is the letter that I did write. To whom it may concern, it is my honor and privilege to recommend Andrew Vaughn for undergraduate admission to the University of California at Berkeley. Andrew is an exceptional young man in all aspects of his student life here at Maria Carrillo High School, including his high-achieving academic performance, his enthusiastic participation in a wide range of school activities, and of course his amazing talents shown on the baseball field. He consistently demonstrates an inherent ability and willingness to help others in any way he can. Whether it is with his schoolwork or with other important tasks that need to be done, Andrew will always be one of the first to volunteer his time or resources to both staff and students alike. Andrew is extremely charismatic and gets along well with every possible type of person, no matter how different they may be. As a teacher, it is quite refreshing to have these rare students like Andrew come through my classroom, and it's been truly wonderful to see him flourish academically, athletically, and socially during his high school years. I first met Andrew over 3 years ago during his freshman orientation, as I was assigned to be his advocacy teacher. The advocacy classes here at Maria Carrillo are similar to a homeroom or study hall, but encompass much, much more. In reality, especially in the case of Andrew's class, my group of advocacy students have become more like a big extended family. Because the students remain with the same advocacy class and teacher for all 4 years of their high school journey, we have spent a significant amount of time with each other on a daily basis. So I've been in a unique position to see Andrew mature and grow during these past 3 years and into his 4th and final year of high school. Throughout that time, Andrew's strong character, deep work ethic, and natural leadership skills have stood out substantially above the rest of the class without any hint of arrogance or superiority. When the time comes for this group of seniors to graduate on June 3rd, 2016, we will all walk together as an advocacy class during the commencement ceremony. With this being my 8th year of teaching at Maria Carrillo, this is only the second advocacy class that will have this privilege of walking alongside during their final day of high school, and I'm already getting sentimental about it. One of the responsibilities of each advocacy teacher is to choose an advocacy leader that will organize the class during graduation rehearsals and lead each class as we walk out onto the field. It is a significant honor and obligation for which only 13 students out of the graduating class of almost 400 will be selected. For my previous advocacy class that graduated in 2012, I didn't decide on my advocacy leader until weeks before the graduation. For my current advocacy class, I already knew by the time their sophomore year was here that I would be choosing Andrew for this role. And I was excited to tell him about it. I told him about it right when I handed him this letter. So it was an easy decision, and it was just an obvious choice that was quick to make back then. In addition to being Andrew's advocacy teacher ever since his first day of high school, I also enjoyed teaching Andrew in his math classes for both his junior year in trigonometry pre-calculus and in his current AP calculus class for his senior year. He is diligent with his work, always completing his assignments on time, asks insightful questions in class when appropriate, and never hesitates to follow up with me individually if he is struggling with a particular concept. I was also fortunate enough to have Andrew serve as my peer tutor last year. While many of my TAs and peer tutors in past years have been content to sit in the back of the room and wait to be told what to do, Andrew was constantly checking in to see if there was more he could do to help. And ultimately, he saved me countless hours of time by completing work that I would have had to do otherwise. During the many times that I've seen Andrew helping his peers with their math problems or work for another class during advocacy, he has always shown genuine concern for their understanding and a great deal of patience if they continue to struggle. I believe Andrew would actually make an excellent teacher as a future career if he chose that path. Maybe if this baseball thing doesn't work out. Page 2. As a diehard Golden State Warriors fan, myself, I will admit that baseball has never really been my favorite sport. I used to always think that baseball lacked the action and excitement that most team sports should bring to the spectators. In the 4 years that I taught at Murray Carrillo before Andrew's freshman year, I only went to one, maybe 2 baseball games for the sole purpose of supporting my students that I had on the team. Those games never quite held my interest beyond staying around long enough to see my students have a couple at bats. Then in the spring of 2013, when I found out my little freshman advocacy kid was on the varsity baseball team, I had to go check out a couple games, especially since he wasn't just on the team, he was actually getting playing time. And I soon found out why. I still remember the first time I saw Andrew on the pitcher's mound during a high-profile game, so poised and focused, completely uncharacteristic of most of my typical freshman students. I was so impressed and delighted to see Andrew thriving in an environment filled with older students, but I wasn't quite sold on the appeal of baseball in general. During Andrew's sophomore year, the baseball team had a phenomenal season full of close, exciting games and some really amazing plays. I even took up the hobby of photographing several moments from their games that year. That season ended in one of the most heartbreaking losses I've ever witnessed in a sporting event. Yet the students handled it admirably. I have one photo in particular that I took after this game, the team heading to their post-game huddle, where Andrew has his arms around 2 of his teammates. You can feel the disappointment just by looking at the image. When I sat down to write this letter, this image was one of the first things that came to mind. A clear display of Andrew's support for his teammates after a tough loss, and an emotional moment that captured the essence of Andrew's strength and leadership at a difficult time. By the time that season ended, I was officially converted into a baseball fan. The following season, this past spring, I actually went to more Carrillo baseball games than basketball games, which I never thought would ever happen. And it never would have happened if Andrew hadn't ended up in my advocacy class 3 years ago. Besides the support that Andrew provides for his baseball teammates, he is frequently seen at MCHS events cheering on his fellow Pumas during the fall and winter sports seasons. His school spirit is on display every time there's a themed dress-up day or lunchtime rallies. And when he's not wearing an MCHS baseball shirt, he will likely be sporting some sort of Cal gear. Seeing Andrew get voted onto the homecoming court this year gave me a sense of pride and reinforced my belief that he is well respected and admired by his classmates. I know that Andrew's other teachers and our administrators have the same level of respect for him as well. I could go on for pages and pages with this letter, and in all honesty, this is the first time out of 30+ letters of recommendation that I've written for former students that has actually gone on to a second page. As I look forward to a new group of advocacy students next year, I only hope to luck out with another student as amazing as Andrew in this next class. I know Andrew will find great success at the college level and will be a welcome addition to the student body at any university. I strongly encourage you to offer Andrew admission to the University of California at Berkeley. He will look great in a Cal baseball uniform.
Just one.
1020.
1020.
Thanks.
Everybody in here's had impact on my life and my baseball career. Couldn't be here without you guys. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
I get one after.